אותך,
ליום שבו נראה אותך,
בלב אחד כל גוי כל עם,
יכיר אותי משיח בא.
מכל אומה עם ולשון נקרא בקול הניצחון.
אותך בקהל רב,
אותך בקהל רב, אותך בקהל רב, אותך בקהל רב. מלאכים תשוב בהוד, כל עינס תראה שובך,
וכל השלטון ישובך.
אותך ישוע נחזה, בקרבתך תמיד נהיה, תשים עלינו את שלומך, לעולמים נדיר שירך. בקהל רב, אותך בקהל רב, אותך בקהל רב, אותך בקהל רב. בקהל רב, אותך בקהל רב, אותך בקהל רב, והמצומה אליך, אותך בקהל רב, והמצומה אליך, אותך בקהל רב, והמצומה אליך, אותך בקהל רב, והמצומה אליך.
She is now 5 months old. She is now 5 months old. I can't even believe it.
She's staring at Grandpa for some reason.
Yeah, he's so old. He's so old. Look how handsome.
Babe.
Maganda.
That's because I gave her this this little spear. It's not a spear. It's a horse. It's a ass whip.
So what?
Actually, we got this in Egypt. It's to spur the camels
right.
on.
I forgot where we
So
got
this
that.
is made out of leather, and you go like this to spur the camels to move forward. And again, I just happened to find this, and now Ayla likes it.
Yeah, she likes that.
Now
Huh?
she's ready to do Wakanda forever.
Yeah,
Hell
look at
hath
that.
no fury like an Ayla's bird.
Look
Ayla's
at that,
bird.
baby.
So again, welcome.
To our
Yeah,
class.
welcome again. It's nice to be back.
We finished reading in Digital Readers Club. It reminded me of you, teaching about Korah and how the people were slowly swallowed and digested by the earth and set straight to the pit.
Book of Numbers, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The Midbar.
And also about Datan and Abiram and the rod of Aaron. We read about all those today. So that was a good read.
It's almost like the spear of Ayla.
Yeah, look at, here's the spear, the sword of Methuselah. We talked about that too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hope everybody's doing fine. If you have any prayer requests, shoot it our way. And so that way we can share it with all our brothers and sisters, and we can hopefully get some resolution to your requests. We have a number of requests that's actually not on here, but did you want to open up in prayer?
Yeah, let's open it for prayer.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's
Dear
pray.
Abba, we thank you so much for this day. Thank you for bringing everyone here together to fellowship with us, Abba. And we just thank and praise you for everything that you've done for us, for all the prayers that have been answered. We just ask your covering over all the prayer requests we'll be going over here. And we just ask your hands on the technology as well, Abba. We just are so grateful that we can use this fallen angel technology to connect with people all over the world. And we just ask that you continue to keep it nice and clear so they can hear our message and hear the teaching Noble will be doing today. We thank and praise you for all that you've done and for always providing for us. We ask all this in Yeshua.
All right.
Hey.
Oh, you're still looking at me. I don't know why
can't
she's
stop
looking at me.
looking at
You
you.
know.
It's the glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, I took the glasses off.
It's the new eyes.
Yes, a clear
Got a new
eye.
new eyeball.
What is this again? What symbol is this?
No, don't do that. Okay.
Eyes, just.
Anyway,
Hi, baby.
I wanted to share this one before we start. Penny mentioned she had a prayer request and she put it in the chat. Her friend Carrie is experiencing night terrors. She is saved and loves Yeshua so much. So we're not sure what's going on with that.
She's
Sounds like
experiencing night
terrors.
terrors.
It could be a
Oh.
couple things, Penny. From my experience, anyway, night terrors happen. Isaac used to have them too. Actually, my daughter had them. It could be something she's eating before she goes to bed. Maybe you could have her check her diet and see what she's consuming, because that can really affect you and affect the amount of sleep that you get and don't get. The other thing, of course, it could be spiritual warfare. So
Yeah.
she might want to pray Psalm 91 over herself before she goes to bed, or maybe you could pray with her. But yeah, just she is under the Most High's protection, as she is a believer in Yeshua. So it probably is one of those two things. You might want to talk to her about that. But thank you for your request, Penny.
Okay.
All right, more prayer requests that have come in here. Go ahead.
Again, this is from. How can I say this? We still bring up last week's one because we want to make sure everybody sees these prayers and keeps praying for it. It's never a 1 week type of prayer thing. You know, we want to bring as much time involved to get the prayers answered.
It says the sound is not on, Isaac. I don't know if you want to check
It
that.
should be.
Okay, it just said our sound isn't working.
Who's
No,
that?
yeah, it's on.
It's on. Okay.
Okay, we get some. So Isaiah Chavez's family, again, keep them in protection. That hurricane, was it Aaron? Well,
I don't know. I didn't even hear of
it
hurricane.
was off the Atlantic seaboard, and so just keep them protected. And everybody else there that's involved. We know quite a few people there. Even Lisa's relatives are there as well. Zen and
Yeah, he
Justin
didn't mention
and-
anything about
yeah.
it in DRC.
they're more inland, I guess. So,
Yeah.
but just keep them protected. We want to pray for again Tammy's son Chris had the heart attack. I mean, we got.
Yeah, he's doing much better. We actually got an update from Tammy. He's doing much better. He's stable, so that's great. He got a
Okay.
stent put in. I wanted to follow up with this real quick. Sherry had another request she just put in the chat. Her husband, Gary, is very short of breath today. He's had low oxygen all day, so definitely we will add him to our prayer list, Sherry. For those of you listening, please add Sherry's husband to your prayer list. And also, Penny had a request for her friend Carrie's husband also. And he's walking with Abba Adonai. So yes, definitely, we'll add those into our prayer list. Thank you, ladies. If anyone else has prayer requests, you could put those in the chat. Just put them in all capital letters so we can see it, please. We also have a prayer request for Kay and Grace. This is an ongoing prayer request. Although things have been progressing, there's been some arrests made as far as the trafficking ring. Grace is in emergency foster home, and Kay is just drawing closer to Abba every day and just keeping all of this covered in prayer for her daughter she's planning to adopt, who's 14 years old. And we just have to have, Grace needs to have spiritual discernment, and to, even though she's still a child, still to want to have the entities away from her, because they're definitely not away from her right now. Did you want to do the next one?
Except for our friend Bobby Correa, still dealing with some vertigo. So continued prayers for him. He's probably working. I forgot to give him a link for our show. And for Phil, continued health. Again, he's doing a lot of things. He's doing hydrogen peroxide therapy and oxygen therapy and a whole bunch of other things. So he is pretty much an authority on all these additional things for improved immune system and health. So we'll get on Phil. All right.
All right, for Christy Frost, ongoing prayer requests, but
Is it-
especially about her
Send
mind
this
and
link to
memory,
Bobby Correa.
and spiritual warfare she's been experiencing. So let's lift up Christy in prayer, also for her dogs as well. For Leonard, his
Yep.
continued healing. Thank you again for your correspondence with us, Leonard, by email. We
Yeah.
appreciate your messages, and we've sent you a couple messages back, but we'll definitely stay in touch,
Correa.
Leonard.
Correa, yeah.
For
in my phone
Donna,
list.
her grandson Elijah, he is out of the hospital. There is an update. I think we gave that last week, but
Okay.
he's not in the hospital any longer, and so we're just grateful that he's doing much better. And
Thank you.
thank you for keeping us posted on that, Donna. For Priscilla, she's one of our listeners. She had reached out saying that her grandma, who is now in the hospital from having parasite issues, and things are not going as well as they would like in the hospital. So we just continue to keep her grandmother in prayer. I believe she's 97 years old, and she was super healthy all the way up until the parasites. So.
Leonard, he's defined it.
Oh yes,
Oh, yeah.
Leonard also put in our Wednesday show.
Yeah.
Ask Me Anything for Zen that he is a father he's met maybe one time, who he got a letter in the mail saying the father was deceased, and he wasn't sure what to do with that. So we just encourage you, Leonard, to continue to be in prayer for any of the family who's grieving. But for you, it's a little difficult because he's kind of like a stranger. Anyway.
He's your biological father.
Yeah.
That's really about it. He hasn't been a father to you. Same with me. I had a biological father, but my mom and my dad divorced when I was young, and we had interactions, but never that so-called father-son relationship. And so I mean, I have no idea what that's like because never had one. I tried to establish that with my oldest son. That never happened.
Then you have with
but
him.
then Isaac came into my life, and so we've kind of had a father-son relationship. That's a
You
reprieve.
do.
You
are my dad. Too bad.
yeah. So it's good to see things in perspective. Again, Leonard, yeah, my condolences. But again, it's hard to say, to show love when there was really no interaction. So just, again, like Lisa said, just focus on the people in your life now. Focus on the people that God will bring you according to your ministry, so that you can have an effect and maybe be a father to some,
It's true.
or a
Yeah.
son to some. I mean, again, you never know where God brings you in your relationship with people. But
That's right.
I believe that's something that again, you're not gonna lose. You shouldn't lose sleep over, but it's something to take and reconsider and say, look, maybe somebody out there needs a father or a son, and I can be both, either or. So
That is true.
okay.
All right. Next prayer request, Isaac. You want to put that back up?
Yeah.
For Jensen and Bazleal, they are some of our listeners who asked for safety and protection from the evil one. Just wanted to continue to keep them in prayer. For the Reynolds family, they need protection, and somebody reached out to me on our YouTube channel asking if we know anyone who would like to donate a motorhome for them to live in, because Chelsea is having the mold issues again, and she can get really sick from being exposed to that. So we'll keep that in mind, but we definitely want to keep them in prayer. We have actually reached out to them. We haven't heard back from Nathan. I believe Noble texted him a while ago. So, but yes, please continue to keep their ministry and their family in prayer. Also for Chelsea and Paulino, this was a couple weeks ago. We need to take this off of her. But she's had a loss of 2 uncles in the past 3 or 4 weeks, I believe. So their entire family, we want to keep all of them in prayer as well.
For Isaac and his work situation, he appraised me of what's been going on with a certain coworker that's somewhat physical or aggressive. I can't say aggressive. He's just very physical with him, and so we just ask that the Lord will protect him and watch over him, so that he doesn't get hurt from this so-called coworker. Not in a bad way, but it's greetings that are very rough, and I guess my son is like Joseph, mint steps, very delicate.
What?
I wouldn't say I'm
He's not
delicate,
delicate.
but I am.
Well, he has.
You are.
He
You
has
gotta-
been a quadriplegic, so he has that.
You are.
He's always been this really
So you
tough
like-
guy until he.
So like Joseph
That
with
is
mint
accident.
steps, right?
That's true.
Mint steps.
Sort of, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
so just keep him in prayer, again, in the work situation, because there's a lot of things that go on in the workplace, and getting hurt is not a good thing, especially when he's got to support his own family. So-
I wanted to share a request Benjamin Curry left here on our chat. Prayer for Violet and Ruby Gray. Their 2 adorable children. They lost their father to suicide, so that must be really rough.
Oh, no
Speaking
way.
of fathers, that must be really rough. We have some friends here who lost their father for suicide as well, and it's so rough on the whole family.
Yeah.
Just
that
such a
is-
loss, because the father is the leader of the family, and to have them suddenly gone when he didn't have to be, that's rough. We'll definitely add them to our requests.
And so Leonard, here's another family that's going to grew up without a father. In your case, it was different because he's still alive. This
Yeah.
case, he took his own life, which is, I don't know what's worse.
I don't
You know
know.
what I mean? Because you
There,
take
it's
your
all
own life.
bad.
You're leaving your family to fend for themselves
Yeah.
because you had some issues. I mean,
It's kind of a selfish thing.
we don't know what caused it. I know there's some demonic
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
grounds for divorce. Not divorce, but for suicide.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, divorce too, but for
Demonic grounds for suicide for
But
sure.
you know, again, stop being so self-centered and think about those that you're providing for, protecting, guiding, leading, counseling. You know, being an example that is not of Christ. But again, it happens, right? It happens. So thanks a lot again, Rick, for sharing that.
So we got praise reports here. As again we said before, Noble can see now. His cataract surgery went well. His fasting went really well. I think he was more healthy for the whole thing after the fasting. He felt better, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
For-
I can see everybody's white, clear in one eye,
I'm no longer
yellow
yellow.
in the other, right?
I'm no longer yellow.
Well, you are if I close my left eye,
Oh,
my
okay.
good eye.
So if I'm in your right side, I'm yellow. On your
Yeah.
left side, I'm white.
You yellow, yeah.
All right. For Mel, of course, thank you guys for praying for her. She's continuing to heal. They consider these first 3 months after the surgery to be kind of like making sure she's okay and not going in huge groups or anything. But she's doing really well. She's been coming to Bible study. She's coming over to our house to visit. It's been nice. And as you guys saw earlier, you saw Ayla, our granddaughter. She's rolling, moving, planking. She's all over the place. She can actually move herself off the little cushion we have for
Lisa
downstairs.
made her a brand new outfit, a two-piece outfit.
Did you see her little outfit she had on
Yeah,
earlier?
and she's got a midriff.
I've been
I'm saying,
sewing.
oh, she's sexy now.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Parents and grandma saying no, but I said, why'd you sew it then?
Well,
Hey.
it's a Hawaii thing. It's like a little beach outfit.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right.
So again, Isaiah is working, so that's a good thing. Praise God for that. Eliyahu, Elijah
Yeah,
is
Donna's
doing better.
grandson. Yeah,
He's doing better, and Chris again is doing better.
yeah. Tammy's son.
We do want to lift up some other people, Annette and Alfred. You know, the people that host our home Bible study.
Yeah.
Let's just lift them up in prayer. They're being attacked, big time, and so we just want to lift Annette up. Hang in there, you know, and for again,
Something to know. If you plan to host a home Bible study, you guarantee will be attacked. Oh yeah.
yeah.
You guarantee will be attacked. If you're hosting the Bible study, if you're teaching the Bible study, attacks are going to come because the enemy hates it when you do this. So.
A member in our Bible study named a woman named Monica. She's been
Oh,
very
yes.
ill a lot lately, and
She's
hasn't
doing
been able
much
to make
better.
it.
Annette gave me an update.
Oh yeah. So well, hopefully she's physically doing better.
Yeah.
So keep her in prayer because again, the evil one wants to keep those new believers away from Bible study, from fellowship. The more they learn, the more stronger they are in Christ. You all know that. So let's
That's right.
just continue to keep these new believers in prayer. Also for the family that passed away, we were praying for her. And that's Kekai or what was it?
Oh yeah, Kikai. She
Kikai?
passed away. Yeah.
Yeah, she did pass away. So we were praying for her, and let's keep
Yeah.
her in prayer.
And the other, I can't remember her name. Mela. She got a brand new liver.
Oh
Liver
yeah,
transplant.
a friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that she'll be continuing to recover well. I think she's still in the hospital, still in recovery there, but liver transplant, that's just as huge as kidney transplant. That's amazing.
Right.
You have the
Okay, so
ability
we're
to
pretty
do
much
that.
done.
All right. Well, thank you for. If you guys do have any more prayer requests, please put them in the chat, and we will address them next time. Put in all capital letters. Noble will be teaching today. He's got a great lesson outlined for you guys, as you saw in our announcement.
She
so
keeps saying great lesson. It's
it is.
Not,
It's always.
she
a
hasn't
good
even
one.
heard it yet. And gosh.
All
wow.
right. So we'll let him teach, and I'll be right back.
All right. So let me get out of this. All right, guys. Yeah, it's back to teaching again. It's been a crazy week. Again, it just seems like so much work is coming my way. I'm complaining, but it takes away. Takes away from my time to study and to put everything in a cohesive thought. And I was chatting with Phil earlier. Thinking is hard. thinking takes energy, takes time, takes focus, and sometimes, gathering a lot of information and thinking how to present everything doesn't come out very easy. And so we have this package that I want to present and deliver, and sometimes it doesn't flow well. But let's do what I can do, and I hope you guys are patient with me and will follow with me. Okay, just looking over. Thank you, Sherry. I was looking forward to the lesson. Appreciate all of you guys there. Again, in review, in last class, again, Yeshua was created after the seed of the woman and not of the man. In Bereshit 3:5, again, that covenant states that, again, Yeshua would be, again, our Messiah, and that Abraham would be blessed. We would be blessed through Abraham, and whoever Abraham blesses, we're blessed. Whoever Abraham curses, then we're cursed. So following that line of thinking, also from Yeshayahu, which is Isaiah 7:14, that talks about the Messiah will be born of a virgin. I believe that it's true. If you bring and present this Old Testament passage to a Jewish person, especially someone that's in Judaism and bound and buried in Judaism, you will not get that understanding, because to them, the Alma, the virgin, or the young maiden, doesn't qualify as a virgin, and they'll argue that. But in the ancient days, being a young maiden meant that you were going to be promised or betrothed to a young man, and all young, well, how can I say this? Grooms to be want to marry, a virgin, not someone that's not a virgin, but a virgin, because that's the expectation. So a young maiden, although Alma can be translated as maiden or young maiden, also can be translated as a virgin, and they both kind of go together, because being a young woman, being betrothed, has the inference of you being a virgin. So I don't know how anybody can say it's not a virgin. And before that, it even says that a sign from God will appear to his people, and that sign is a prophet, a Messiah being born of a virgin. That does not happen every day. It's not run-of-the-mill pregnancies that come out from, again, parthenogenesis, which is the Greek term of becoming pregnant all on your own. That is a very rare occurrence. So in this case, Isaiah 7:14 is the prophecy of a Messiah being conceived and born of a virgin, and we hold to that. So the uniqueness of this Messiah, again, is that he will have only one biological parent. Then we all know it's the mother, Miriam. Okay, and according to the prophecies, the Mashiach's humanity comes only from his mother, because his father is not of human origins. We all know that. We read the account in Matthew and Luke, and it talks about how, again, Yeshua was brought about by the Holy Spirit, and his mother got impregnated, and the rest is history. Yeshua too was a member of the tribe of Judah, much like his mother, okay, fulfilling the first requirement for him to be king over Judah. His divine appointment from prophecy fulfilled the second requirement to be king over Judah. This second requirement, again, comes from a prophecy which comes from Bereshit, also known as Genesis. If you're a Greek reader, if you're into the Hebrew, Bereshit chapter 49 verse 10, and it reads, "The scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until Shiloh comes, and to him shall be the obedience of the peoples." This is just one of Yeshua's many prophecies, again, naming him to be the coming Mashiach. Okay, and this is, again, all review. Now we get into today's stuff. Okay, today's stuff is entitled "The Four Messiahs?" ? What does that mean? I'm going to start explaining what it means, though I may not be able to finish, because there's just so much material out there, and I was trying to crank it out, but again, time does not wait for no one, And here I again get caught up with time. Yeshua's call to be the Messianic king over Judah it's well known throughout history. But did you know that there are other tribes other than Judah who speaks of the coming of the Messiah from scriptures? Let's begin with Yaakov's or Jacob's blessings. Okay, pending his coming death. Again, everybody is again destined to die, except for a few very special people: Enoch, Eliyahu, Elijah, Ezra, a few other people. Pending Yaakov's death, he calls his 12 sons together and says, "Come, my boys, and I will tell you the future of each of you and what that future holds for your children and your children's children and down to the umpteenth generations." In what is known as the blessing of Yaakov, this group of passages, which comes from, again, Bereshit chapter 49, verses 1 to 28, that's almost the entire chapter, just short of it. These passages highlights the Messianic's interpretation since ancient times and beliefs. The Judahites closely guarded their part of Yaakov's prophecy concerning the promise of a Mashiach to arise from their tribe. This comes in, again, chapter 49, verse 10. What seems to be overshadowed by Yehuda's prophetic messianic claims comes Yaakov's promise to his most beloved son, Yosef, also known as Joseph. Sounds similar. We all know that Joseph was Yaakov's favorite son, even though he was his 11th son. In counting chronologically, Joseph is the firstborn of Yaakov's favorite wife, or really his first chosen wife, which was Rachel. Okay, so this God-fearing youth / man, because Joseph was going to go through a whole lot of experiences early in his life, all the way to manhood, and this God-fearing youth and man walked in the footsteps of his father's God, okay, Yehovah. Amidst the temptations of adultery, amidst the temptations of idolatry, and the temptations of greed, Joseph kept his life pure and innocent, something that we all should strive for, especially as young men. Well, I'm not us. You young men out there should strive for a life of purity and innocence. Okay. Although betrayed by his own brothers, Joseph became the most powerful vizier of Mitzrayim, also known as Egypt. When Yaakov collected his sons to bless them, the longest and fullest blessings that came from Yaakov was reserved for Joseph. Genesis chapter 49, verses 22 to 26 shows you that. In fact, I'll have Lisa read through that shortly. Joseph's blessings were 71 words in total compared to Yehuda's 55. So it goes to show you that, the Messiah coming from Yehuda was very important, but yet Joseph received the bulk of the blessing. In fact, throughout Joseph's account, the word bless or blessings is spoken no less than 6 times. Judah is just blessed once, but here 6 times it's mentioned. And if that wasn't enough, the blessings of heaven and of the deeps, the blessings of many descendants and of eternity like the hills. It is said that Yaakov inherited the cream of all, more than the other patriarchs, and being perfect in all, he gave all to Joseph. What? Really? As the chapter closes with the death of Yaakov, Joseph, the fate of Yehuda, and the rest is not even recorded. Interesting. In these blessings, Yaakov lists the pains of Joseph's bitter fate and the archers or bowmen who inflicted them. These darts or arrows would include the Midianite slave traders and their cruel inflictions upon Joseph. Potiphar's wife and her lies, Pharaoh's cupbearer and his forgetfulness. But the deepest and sharpest arrow was from Joseph's very own brothers and their betrayal due to their envy and hatred. Yet, in spite of his numerous sufferings, Joseph did not turn from the straight and narrow path. You know what that really means is that he didn't complain. He didn't argue. He didn't bring it up. You know, whoever wronged him, you know, like for many of us, we'll say something about it, you know, and we'll share something about it. But for Joseph, yeah, he kept it to himself. You know, he rationalized that, look, as long as I keep following the straight and narrow path of God, especially the God of my father, Yaakov, I will be okay. Because El Shaddai will provide and take care of me. So,
I would say that he did mention it to Yah Elohim, but
oh, yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
uh, yeah, Isaac, that's a good point. I think we're supposed to share all that we go through with our God. This is part of praying to Him, and that praying incessantly or never ending, constant, numerous, small little prayers just throughout your day, you know, and letting Him know that I'm facing this, or I'm being challenged here, or I've been betrayed here, or someone's accusing me, or attempting to disown me in a sense. So whatever you come across, yes, like Isaac said.
Because I think about the instance with the tree, right? The tree in prison.
Well,
When he was in prison, he grew a tree, and then didn't it like wither or something, and then he had to regrow it.
You're
No.
thinking of Jonah.
No, that's the shade.
yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one of Joseph.
I don't
Or
remember.
maybe it's just the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, I might be thinking of
I
the
haven't
movie,
ever read
the
it.
animated movie.
Oh, okay.
I haven't ever read anything like that.
It could be. It could be from the Talmud.
Okay, so now we know that's an embellished story, and
Yeah.
it's
You never
it's
know.
it's not actually written.
That's
Well,
okay.
not in the '66, not that we know of, but
Not any of the extra biblicals either.
Yeah, because I remember in the movie he met with Potiphar's cupbearer and the baker, right? And then after that he was like growing a plant in the jail, and then before he left, the tree had like grown huge, and it was to like display that everything that Yosef touched, like multiplied, so to speak. Like,
hmm,
Yeah, I
okay,
think that was in the movie.
yeah.
okay. All right. So speaking about the passage from Bereshit 49 verses 22 to 26 that talks about the blessings coming from Joseph's father. Lisa can start reading this.
Oh, and Isaac.
Oh, Isaac, yeah, Isaac.
I guess I can read.
Easier to see.
All right. In Bereshit 49, 22 to 26. Yosef is a fruitful bow, right?
Yep.
A fruitful bow by a spring. His branches run over the wall. The archers bitterly attacked him, shot at him, and harassed him severely. Yet his bow remained unmoved. His arms were made agile by the hands of the mighty one of Yaakov. From there is the shepherd, the rock of Yisrael. From the Yah of your father, who will help you, and from Shaddai, who will bless you, with blessings of heaven above, blessings of deep.
Children are always special. Joseph was no exception. From his early years, he showed wisdom and aptitude in all that he did. He was really, really well informed, trained properly, and very respectful. As he grew, he became perfect, handsome, and presentable, unflawed by his brother's unruly passions. And we know what those passions are. I mean, Leah's first four sons then had a book on
Yeah, the vestures of light.
the vesture of light.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Okay. Here, Yaakov also put him in charge over his flocks, over his herds.
Yeah, if it's just gonna keep cutting out like this, you might as well reset it. Oh, hold on. Looks
Wait.
like you might be back. Yeah, you're back.
Back.
Yeah.
Okay. We noticed that we're still buffering over here, and now that you're back, I think we're gonna take a 5-minute break at
Yep.
this time.
They all say you're back.
we're thinking about taking a 5-minute break so we can reset our Wi-Fi, our modem and router. See if that helps the buffering. So, Isaac, you're gonna have to
I got this.
log in again, right?
I got this.
Okay. So if you guys don't mind, just please bear with us.
Head down now and do it now.
Yeah, we're gonna reboot our equipment and see if that's gonna help. So, in the meanwhile, so we'll be back shortly, and
Recording live from Hawaii with the George Ohana. After reading through the Bible revealed as knowledge increases in the last days, did you ever wonder how the Most High called Avraham? And hear of his encounter with Nimrod and the fiery furnace? These and other stories are readily available to all of us, and we look forward to sharing with you and to hearing your ideas and your research about these ancient books. We can discover how each apostle wrote books of their own that should have been included and that were included in the early church manuscripts. Hebrew Hawaiian and on Discord with Sacred Word Publishing. We look forward to studying and learning together with you as an online ecclesia, our extended Ohana, as we support each other in a world where truth is very hard to find. Blessings to all of you, and Shaloha.
Well, guys, we're back, but yeah, it looks like the Wi-Fi is holding right now. However, you probably hear Dad downstairs.
not
unless he
yet.
Disconnected.
still looking for something.
Yeah, his mic is still on.
Here we go.
You're gonna hear Ayla Squish.
Found Okay, thank you, Lord.
But yeah, so we'll wait till he comes back up. He's looking for an Ethernet cable, so we can
Isaac?
just have a direct line rather than the Wi-Fi. Because the funny thing is that there's actually here. I'll switch the camera so you guys can see us. Yeah. So before this was the filming room, this used to be my room, and I used to game a lot, and I still do a lot of gaming. And so what I wanted was, I didn't want the Wi-Fi connection. I wanted a direct landline. So what he did is that, because he was avoiding electricity in the house altogether,
Isaac?
like in the upstairs areas, he decided to run Ethernet cables through the entire house up to the top floor so that he could connect his devices
Lisa?
to internet. He's calling my mom. Tell him his.
Okay. 이루 호치 아누 미 미츠라임 호치 아누 미 미츠라임 다이누 다이 다이.
Oh, there we go. Okay, we're not buffering anymore. If you guys can hear Noble, he still has his microphone attached to his shirt, so you might hear some yelling and going on with the guys from downstairs to upstairs. Yay! Can you guys hear me? I know you guys can see me. There's Isaac also. You see his hair. Everybody keeps calling your hair a Muppet.
I'm actually gonna stop.
We
it.
just-
That's the one.
We see a Muppet in the camera.
Okay, sweetheart.
Here you go.
All right, they can see me, but they can't hear me.
Sure.
Oh, no. Okay,
it
yes, you can hear me.
Yeah, let me
Okay,
hear
great, great. Okay, I'm so glad. Did already hardwire the entire house to have internet, but we've just been using Wi-Fi because it's been working fairly well up until today. And so hopefully we'll be able to use the same Wi-Fi when Zen and I do shows on Wednesday, because as you guys know, the last several weeks have just been really bad as far as the Wi-Fi is concerned. But thank you, honey. You've been taking over, and it's streaming. It's doing. Oh, exactly. It kind of froze just a little bit again.
It froze again?
It's been freezing off.
I'm adjusting the frame rates. So.
Okay. But this is the one. This is the proper
Yeah,
line.
this is the one. It's connected.
Okay, good. Good.
for now.
It kind of keeps freezing though. It's like it'll go for a bit and then just freeze, and then go for a little bit and then just freeze.
And then it's directly connected to the actual device, yeah?
It's to the modem.
Okay.
I mean the router. The modem
Right.
is connected to the router. Router is connected
To the
to the
cord.
computer
Okay.
right now directly. So you should have a hardwire Ethernet set up.
Let's see if that works. Still see my puff.
Okay.
It looks like it's getting better, but
Really?
like the connection speed itself, but
The main thing is with the right hardwire connection.
yeah, it is.
I
I already turned the Wi-Fi off.
Oh,
It's
okay.
still connected, so
Okay, good. So that is a sign then,
yeah.
but it's not as continuous as you'd want it to be, yeah.
Well, it's not as strong as I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
So.
Isaiah said, Noble looks like a professor with those glasses.
Nice.
Okay, I think they can hear you. Oh, you're still kind of frozen though, but they might be able to hear you. It's weird. It's like freeze and not freeze.
Well, you're looking on yours is Wi-Fi. Your phone is Wi-Fi,
Oh, that's true.
so Wi-Fi is acting weird. But if Isaac got the landline going,
Yeah.
then that should be continuous. It's direct.
Should be, but it's not giving it to me.
So what should I do? Should I just continue to read and teach, or shall we?
Yeah, keep on teaching, because if anything, it'll record it, and if people come back and watch it again, then
Okay.
hopefully a lot of this will just be cut out.
Okay.
Did you have to restart it? You didn't have to restart a whole new YouTube thing, did you?
No, I
It's the
didn't.
same
I
one.
just kept the same.
Yeah, just keep it the same.
Okay.
Okay, so hopefully it'll record, and then when they play it back, it'll be smoother.
Well,
Alright.
unfortunately, it's not much better. So
It's not really.
It's still like freezing once in a while.
yeah,
Interesting.
let's see if the Wi-Fi just holds for now.
Isaac disconnected the Ethernet. He's trying to check the Wi-Fi again. But regardless, I'm going to go on and just keep on teaching. So let's see, where do we leave off? Okay, so yeah, Joseph again reported the misdeeds of his brothers to their father. They loathed him because he told them that they would one day bow down to him in his dreams, of the sun and the moon and the stars. And so because of that, and then also what, the haystacks as well, they planned to kill him because of that. When the chance arrived, they seized him and dropped him into a pit. Joseph survived death by Yehuda's business savvy. 20 pieces of silver was far better than no pieces of silver. So Yehuda and the rest of his brothers, excluding Simeon, I believe, or was it Reuben maybe, they sold Joseph to, again, these slave traders.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph descended into the pit of Mitzrayim, also known as Egypt, which is also known as the land of the cult of the dead. The land would be something really nice to go to. He was sold as a slave to Potiphar, captain of Pharaoh's guard, and Potiphar acknowledged Joseph's many talents and entrusted the management of his estate to Joseph. Again, this is over a course of time because Potiphar I'm sure he knew a few languages. Then he was able to prove himself worthy of managing the entire estate of Potiphar. Okay, and this is no poor dude. He's a rich, powerful man. So that was a big thing. Sadly, however, as Joseph was managing the property and the estate, his handsome appearance didn't protect him from Potiphar's wife, Zelika. And we all know that story. Rejected, Zelika cried rape because she couldn't get Joseph any other way. And so she said, if I can't have him, nobody will. And so she wanted him to be put to death.
They said it's all good right now.
Really?
Good. Yeah.
Nice. Rape in the ancient days normally meant instant death, but Potiphar knew his wife's ways. He knew she was a playa, as the locals would say here, and but he valued Joseph because of the blessings that came through him. And you need to understand this part. Wherever Joseph was, God's blessings followed him. Why? Because he stayed in the straight and narrow path. He followed the God of his father, Yaakov, and stuck to it. He, again, was pure and innocent. And man, when you are like that, I mean, you don't have to be like that in the past. I'm sure many of us have changed from our previous ways. But if you pursue that path now, there cannot be nothing else but blessings, because God is seeing that you are doing what you can do to be like a Joseph. Whether you're a man or a woman, to be in the same category of being pure and innocent and following the God of gods. Okay? So here, being the overseer of Pharaoh's prison, Joseph was sent there by Potiphar because, again, Potiphar knew this lad was very, very blessed. And yeah, innocent and blessed. So Joseph, innocent of any crimes, whether he was accused of them, I can't see him doing any criminal work. That's not his nature. Was again back in the pit, an underground dungeon, much like when his brothers threw him in the first pit, to kill him, but then eventually sold him to the Midianite traders, slave traders. Here he's in the pit again, only as a prisoner in Pharaoh's dungeon. But in the course of time, again, Joseph proved himself worthy to be appointed manager of the prison. And again, this prison was overseen by who? By his former boss, and still boss in a way, Potiphar.
Potiphar, yep.
Yep. So Joseph remained there in the prison all the days of his youth. 11 long, never ending, it seemed, years. I'm sure there had to be some depression, some uncertainty, because we know that Joseph spoke to a couple of the prisoners
inmates.
of Pharaoh, and interpreted their dreams. And, this got him actually into the door of being a dream evaluator.
To me, I think that period of time while he was in prison, just imagine who Potiphar and his wife were raising all that time, who was growing up in their household, that hadn't seen Joseph for 12 years or whatever, who was in that prison house. And then when Joseph finally, he's in rulership already, when he finally decides to come and pay them a visit, when he finally decides to come and pay them a visit, when he's older and sees this child that he doesn't realize is
now a grown-up.
His niece, is now 18, and it just seems like he didn't understand why he was in prison all that time, but it made sense because otherwise he would have been working right there and seeing Asenath the entire time she was growing up. So
his future bride.
It's so crazy how it's the same Zelika that's raising his future bride.
Yeah, exactly.
Will be his mother-in-law. Like that's weird.
But only because of adoption.
Yeah, but still, it's still his mother-in-law.
Okay, interesting. All right, thank you, honey. So again, finally, Joseph's abilities as a dream catcher / interpreter came to Pharaoh's notice. Haunted by these dreams, Pharaoh was informed of what his dreams meant and what needed to be done to avoid such a horrific and catastrophic, nightmare in this case, because Pharaoh could not sleep and he was constantly plagued by the same two dreams. The dreams of the skinny cows, right? Isn't that the name of a dressing? Skinny cow?
Skinny cow.
I'm not sure.
Skinny girl.
Oh, skinny girl.
That's the one we use.
That's a salad dressing. Oh yeah. Sorry, had skinny in there. I half right. But yeah, so the terrible dreams of the skinny cows and the fat cows and they were being eaten by the skinny cows. Right. And was there another part to Pharaoh's dreams? Well,
yeah,
besides
there's
the cows?
the was it the wheat, the fat heads of the wheat?
Oh,
or
the
something?
wheat. Yeah, the really poor looking stalks of wheat
Mm-hmm.
that were eating the good stalks of wheat.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So Joseph's counsel, again, to Pharaoh, awarded him not just freedom from the prison, freedom from, being in the dungeon and being a manager of a pretty coarse place like that, but it also awarded him the signet ring from Pharaoh himself. This signet ring was the ring where all things were done by. All authority was given through the signet ring, and this ring was given to Joseph so that Joseph would be able to do everything and anything he wanted to in Egypt. Of course, with the blessing of Pharaoh. No one was higher than Pharaoh, but he was given a carte blanche, a blank check to do whatever he needed to do. So here, being promoted from jailhouse boss to Mitzrayim's vizier, the boss over Egypt, this was Joseph's reward for all his years of hardships, all his years of being betrayed, put down, picked on, bullied.
Mm-hmm.
So any of you out there that have gone through the life of Joseph, and have faced all those things, if you keep the true and narrow path, stay close to God, watch, the blessings will be immeasurable, innumerable. I mean, Joseph, like many of us, had to say, wow, what is my life amounting to? What is it accounting to? Where is it leading me? And yet, in God's time, it could lead you to very, very high positions of esteem and importance. And not just so for the esteem part, but for making the decisions that will affect lives, people's lives, not just your life, other lives. Yes.
Isaiah has a few comments.
Yes.
He said, firstly, they dipped the coat in blood, like Yehuda's blessing, and in Revelation read like he was pressing grapes. And then I mentioned, the vesture dipped in blood that's worn by Messiah on Judgment Day.
Right.
And then Isaiah also said that Joseph passed the test that Reuben, even Judah couldn't, for the lust of a woman. So both of those two older brothers failed that test.
Yep.
And then he said to notice the signet ring is also a symbol of the king of Judah. See Jeconiah and Jeremiah and Zerubbabel and Haggai.
Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you. So if you look at the picture that's on the left, that's your kind of like your dream catcher, which is kind of like
Native American thing.
Native American, but somebody sent me this picture on this next slide, which is so funny because
No.
it's called a redneck dream catcher.
What?
And what does he have on there? Well, he has some girl's underwear.
What?
He got a couple cans of Skoal tobacco and a can of beer.
Oh my
And that's
gosh.
a redneck's dream. It's just to get that.
Hawaiian would be a 1 can spam.
A package of poi.
Yeah, and a couple buds.
Well, every race and culture has their own dream cultures.
And 1 gold chain.
A gold chain.
But that's for the rappers, right? The rappers want the gold
Oh,
chain.
You'd be surprised.
Okay. Well, for the local girls, it would be bracelet, the golden bracelet,
Oh yeah, the Hawaiian.
with the Hawaiian name on top.
stuff. Yeah.
All right.
Or
Back,
tent.
back to the teaching, guys. Again, just wanted to share a funny dream catcher with you guys. As the famine arose, Joseph's brothers, hearing of grain in Egypt, came to buy. Joseph dealt with them personally, though, realizing that these guys were Hebrews, and now it was for him to turn the tables. He tricked them, troubled them, and tested them, all until the point where Yehuda, the author of his sorrows, offered himself as a slave to spare the lives of his brothers, Benjamin and his father. Then Joseph revealed himself to the astonished brothers, and what does he say? I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Mithraim. Of course, he looked like an Egyptian, spoke like an Egyptian, acted like a royal Egyptian,
Walk like an Egyptian.
talked like an Egyptian,
Walk
walked like an Egyptian. Okay, here we go. Maybe maybe Kaylee can sing the song. But Joseph sent them again, all of them, the brothers, back to bring grain, to feed the flocks, to feed the family, and to bring their father Yaakov and his brother Benjamin. Oh, I know he kept Benjamin with him, to bring the rest of the family to Mitzrayim, where they sojourned until Joseph's death. Okay, this is again a Cliff Notes version of the Exodus. Okay, not Exodus, but Bereshit, that talks about again Joseph and his family. And I just want you guys to know that again, Joseph was just a man like the rest of us, although he excelled in keeping himself pure and innocent again. Okay. As Jacob's death approached, Joseph's two sons were to receive their grandfather's blessings. Jacob did three things in this process. First, he announced that Joseph's two sons would be reckoned as Jacob's own. Okay? So grandpa was taking his two grandchildren and saying, yep, now you guys are mine. You know, kind of like not taking them from Joseph, but saying, you are going to be like my own son, and I am going to bless you guys crazy. Each one would receive an inheritance in place of Joseph's one portion. Think about it. Joseph is granted one portion, supposedly equal to the rest of his brothers, but because Joseph was the chosen firstborn, the one that Yaakov loved the most, in this way Joseph received the firstborn's double portion and became two tribes instead of just one. In 1 Chronicles 5:1, we're going to read this. Lisa or Isaac?
Here,
Wait, no,
Isaac.
oh.
1 Chronicles 5:1. The sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, for he was the firstborn, but because he defiled his father's couch, his birthright was given to the sons of Joseph, the son of Israel, so that he could not be enrolled as the oldest son. And although Yehuda was mightiest among his brothers, and rulers came from him, the birthright was Joseph's.
Thank you, son. So that was the first part of what Jacob wanted to share. Here's the second. With his son's double portion, Jacob gave Joseph the choice property in the hill country of the promised land. And it reads here, and to you I give a ridge, Shechem, of land, more than to your brothers. The ridge of Shechem I took from the Amorites with my sword and with my bow. Now we learn a little more about this piece of land and its conquest in the book of Jubilees and in the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Very solid books to read. They're Second Temple literature that you might want to consider reading because it is steadfast. It is solid. You cannot go wrong with reading it. Even though it's not part of the canonized 66, it should have been, but they weren't. But that's besides the point. It is still good historical reading, really with a lot of accurate facts in there. After Simeon and Levi destroyed the city of Shechem, the Amorite kings gathered to slay Jacob's family, but Jacob defeated them and took their land. The third thing that Jacob wanted to share, he blessed Ephraim, Joseph's second-born, above Manasseh, his firstborn. I should say Joseph's firstborn. Joseph protested. Remember? Jacob put his right hand on Ephraim and he put his left hand on top of Manasseh. And Joseph took his hands and said, no, Dad, it's supposed to be this way. But Jacob says, no, son. This is the way I'm going to do it. And he crossed his hands. He blessed the younger more than the older. And so here now, by de facto, Jacob, Joseph, and Ephraim, although they were not the firstborn, were given the firstborn position and right, although none of them, again, were biologically, chronologically born first. The firstborn title was becoming very important to the Joseph, the clan that belonged to Joseph. So now I want to transition to the forgotten Josephites, because remember, Judah, we know, was again supposed to bring the kingly line, the royal line, through David, King David. But here we have another tribe, not Judah, but Joseph's tribe. Looking back into the history of Israel, we tend to think of Judahite or Jewish history. People speak erroneously of Abraham, the Jew, or the Jewish general Joshua, or inaccurately of the Jews in slavery in Egypt, or the exodus of the Jews, or the Jews conquering the promised land. Do you see the theme here? The Jew, the Jew, the Jew, you know?
Yeah.
But the Judahites, I'm sorry, I mistyped here, Jukahites. It might be another strand. But the Judahites, later called in English the Jews, were only one of the 12 tribes. And while they were prominent among the tribes, they were not always the chief. For there were also other tribes, especially the tribe of Joseph. Joseph was in actuality Israel's first ruler. He was head of his brothers in Egypt, governing and protecting them. It was Joseph who received Jacob's best blessings and the rights of the firstborn. It was Joseph who, on his father's death, took the firstborn's role of leading the funeral rites. And if you read that, again, you'll see how he was, again, the head of the procession of the funeral. Toward the end of the captivity, the Egyptian captivity, 400 plus years later, Moshe from the tribe of Levi became Israel's ruler in his lifetime. Yet even Moshe's best blessings were given to Joseph's tribes. Question?
No.
Okay. After Moshe's death, the headship returned back to Joseph's sons. Do you remember who Moshe's second in command was?
Aaron? Oh, you mean his son?
No.
Oh,
Who was-
Joshua.
Joshua.
Yeah. Yehoshua.
Yehoshua. Joshua was from the tribe of Ephraim, which is a Josephite tribe. And he led Israel into the land, the promised land. And with the Judahite Caleb as his assistant or his second in command, they were able to, again, take over and plunder the land and take it as the promised land that God had promised Abraham from the very beginning. It was Joshua who allotted the land, the division amongst the 12 tribes, setting the tabernacle and the ark in his one chosen home territory of Shiloh, giving Ephraim and Manasseh swaths of fruitful terrain in the Midlands and northern Transjordan, and giving Judah, sorry for the typos, the dry land leading down to the Negev desert. Of course, the land was apportioned by divine lot. It seems even that the Almighty loved Joseph's sons the best. How can you deny that? They got the choice properties. The allotment of the land led to the geographic division of the tribes. For Joshua's conquest did not dislodge from Jerusalem the Jebusites and their Egyptian backers, whose power extended east and west across the land. Nor did it break the chain of Canaanite forts that divided the land further north through the plain of Jezreel. And so Israel held the land in three separate layers, like a cake from south to north. At the bottom of this so-called cake, the first layer in the Judean hills and desert, they were confined by the might of the Egypto-Jebusite Jerusalem, and lived the Judahites and the Simeonites under Judahite judges. And so if you read the book of Judges, you'll know that Caleb Othniel and Idzan were three of the judges early in the beginning of the tribes after Moshe and Joshua passed on.
Mm.
In the middle of the cake, the middle layer, lay the rich midland valleys, populated again by Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin. Again, these are all Josephite clans. Further north in the top layer, above the line of the Canaanite forts, was the fertile region of the Galil. But all the tribes in the top 2/3 of the land looked to Rachel's children, the tribes of Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin, for leadership. From them sprang Ehud, the judge, Deborah, the judge, Gideon, the judge, Yair, the judge, and Jephthah, the judge. And they survived fine without any help from the Judahites to the south. Okay, you'll find this in Judges chapter 5, verses 13 to 18. The head of the Northern Confederation were the Ephraimites. They were quick to quarrel with anyone who showed military independence. Ever their brothers from Manasseh, Judges 8:1 to 12:1 to 4, it was in Ephraim that at Shiloh that all the important Ark of the Covenant rested for over 300 years. It was there the Israelites gathered and offered their sacrifices. You'll find this in Joshua chapter 18:1 and 21 verse 2. Even after Shiloh was destroyed, probably by the Philistines after the battle of Aphid, the ark still rested within the Josephine Confederation at Gibeon in the territory of Benjamin. So you see how powerful and how influential the tribe of the clans of Joseph was. Then Samuel, a Korahite Levite from the hill country of Ephraim, united the tribes against their common foes. Man, terrible typing. I'm sorry. Didn't have time to spell check.
No worries. Isaiah had something real quick, but
Yeah.
if you he said, "Is it a coincidence the sun and moon and stars bowed to Joseph and Joshua stopped them with his prayer?"
Yeah.
That's a good link.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
cool.
And again, it's a dream that the brothers hated him for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And even his mom and dad kind of questioned him about that. What?
Yeah.
We're going to bow to you? Come on. Well, they only knew God's ways, right?
Yeah.
But under, again, Samuel's rule, the Canaanite power across the Jezreel Valley, this is, again, the Canaanite forts and stronghold, was finally broken. And we know this from the story of who else? Young David, who eventually
right.
came, right?
Right.
At the people's insistence, Samuel anointed a king, Shaul ben Kish, from the tribe of Benjamin. You know him in English as Saul, King Saul,
Right.
from the children of Rachel, again. Then, while Saul was still alive, Shmuel anointed the Judahite David as the new king over Israel. Still a young lad at this time. Again, he was now appointed to be the next king. Even though Shaul didn't like it and was opposed to it, he had no say because God has the last laugh, the last say. So eventually, upon Shaul's death, David became king of Judah and ruled in Hebron for 7 years, while the northern tribes under Shaul's son Ishbosheth grew weaker. Finally, even the Ephraimites accepted David as king. And now this was the joining of the 12 tribes again for another period after their origination as Jacob's sons. And now the 12 tribes, the nations of Israel, could really be called that, the nations of Israel.
Right. Wow.
And this is where I have to leave off, to be continued, because it was 3:05 here and I had to come up here and start to teach. But if you have any questions or comments, again, please text it to us, and Lisa and I and Isaac and Kaylee will, and even Ayla will answer them to the best of our ability.
You can email it to us at biblicalhebrewhawaii@gmail.com. Did you have something else you were planning to read?
Yeah, I need to find
Okay.
my book. I think is it over there?
All right. Is it upstairs?
Well-
Is it? Can you see if his miracles book is in that stack to your right? Please?
Nope, I don't see it there.
No. Okay. Might be down there. Here.
Nope. All right. Well, it's so.
Here. Hold this, Isaac. I'm gonna see if I can get down there.
All right, guys. I'm sorry. As we were looking for a book that I wanted to share with you guys, I think I can get it from here. Is it in the? We have stacks of books in this room. So many books. It's not funny already. It's just too many. Here, I'll take this one. I have it funny. I have another version. I have the unabridged version
Okay.
of Miracles. This.
Here. That's Miracles Today, right?
Yes.
There it is.
Okay. So.
Hey, why didn't you guys let us know? It's in the camera. I'm just kidding.
This is a 2-volume set, again from Dr. Greg Keener, Miracles. This was pricey. This is very pricey. Then I got his more watered down version, which is actually not the same miracles in this book, but it's still by the same author, and he just added more miracles. Why am I reading from this book of miracles? Well, the reason I'm reading from this book of miracles is I believe today there are many of us that are struggling in our faith, wondering, much like Joseph when he was in prison as a lad, or even John the Baptist when he was imprisoned by Herod Antipas. Is the Messiah coming? Is he here? Lisa? Is there hope? I'm going through so much. Is there hope for me? And the sad thing is that a lot of times, people are today are feeling the same way, like these biblical characters and heroes of the past were feeling back then. They're just human, and any type of hardship was challenging. So I want to read from this book called Miracles Today by Dr. Craig S. Keener, just to show you that even though the news, what do you call it? The world news today,
The fake news.
the fake news. Lisa calls it fake news.
I can't stand
We
it.
call it the general news. Even what's that? Pat Robertson's
Oh. CBN.
CBN. Yeah, they can't cover all the miracles that are happening around the world, and so I just wanted to share some of the so-called miracles from these accounts from Dr. Keener, so that we could be encouraged and know that the God is listening. God is making miracles happen. God is alive today through His Son Yeshua, and that by our continuing our faith in Him, we will experience. And a lot of the miracles come in the form of healings.
Right.
Because what is the number one thing that we struggle with most?
Illness.
Illness.
Yeah.
Ill health, and so especially when you're stage 3, stage 4 of something that starts with a C, a lot of people will say, oh man, my goose is cooked, I'm on the platter about to be served, you know what I mean? And that's disappointing.
That's a lie.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lie. Just it's 100% curable.
Yeah, it is so so I want to read from you from this book again, just to let you know that things do happen. Okay. This is something that Lisa and I and Isaac and Kaylee can really hit home with. Injured spinal cords.
Ah.
Randy mentions another incident that took place when he took a team to Manaus, Brazil in August 2003. Okay. Randy is Randy Clark, who recounts an incident back in 2011, okay, in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He felt that God wanted to heal someone who had been injured on a motorcycle, and sure enough, a 28-year-old woman at the service that evening was on crutches because she had caught her heel on the back wheel of a motorcycle 15 years earlier. It had ripped out muscle and her Achilles tendon, leaving her with a large gash and an inability to walk unaided that surgeries had not been able to repair. After Randy prayed, she walked unaided for the first time in 15 years, and the hole began to close in the back of her foot. And an unexpected amputation was, an expected amputation was canceled. A few years later, she came to one of my meetings and danced on stage, and her video testimony, along with photos of the grotesque injury, appear online. Wow. So this is just one. This is the Randy Clark. Now he mentions another miracle in 2003. Okay, one of his team members, to whom he gives the pseudonym Sam, was a recovering alcoholic. How many out there are like Sam? Okay, who had never yet prayed for anyone to be healed. Because of missed air connections, Sam also hadn't slept in 48 hours. Sam thus asked God to send him an easy case to pray for, like a headache. Unfortunately, a 25-year-old man in a wheelchair approached him. A police officer. The man had had his spinal cord pierced by a drunken man's bullet 2 months earlier, leaving his lower body paralyzed. Sam prayed, and nothing happened. So his initial weak faith dissipated into no faith at all. But Randy had taught his team that he didn't expect them to heal. That was God's business. But I do expect you to love the people and treat them with respect. So, lest he leave the man feeling uncared for, Sam prayed a little longer for the policeman that was paralyzed from the lower body down. Just as Sam was about to fall asleep praying, I can
Wow.
relate to that.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that. He recounts, the young man jumped out of the wheelchair,
Wow.
grabbed me, and wet my shirt with his tears.
Wow.
Then he walked off, pushing the wheelchair. The next day, they videotaped his testimony. Wow. Can you imagine that? God does heal. God still does miracles. You may never hear about it on the mainstream news or let alone international news, but they say that God does far more healings now than ever before, and it's around the world because there are, over 8 billion people now?
Wow.
So here, biblical scholar Marty Healy, a professor at Sacred Heart's Major Seminary, notes healings at Divine Retreat Center in Kerala, South India, where she has also lectured. One case was that of a Sikh, S-I-K-H, okay, not sick, but Sikh woman, that's one that wears the turbans, right? From far north of India. The woman's husband had abused her until she had jumped from a balcony and broken her back. Her legs remained paralyzed for 12 years. But hearing the healings performed by Jesus, she traveled to the Catholic Retreat Center where she was instantly and completely healed of her paralysis.
Wow. That's cool.
How's that?
Yeah.
And don't ever think that, healing cannot come in the form of a Catholic retreat center or any other type of so-called religious center, because God heals on all platforms.
It's true.
Okay?
Even at Shriners.
Yep, even at Shriners, as Isaac and Lisa and myself would testify to, because, God sees the heart of the people. He doesn't see the location or the so-called background of their so-called belief system or religious system, but he sees people. And that's the way we should be as well, seeing people for their need, not because they're Catholic or Lutheran, as Lisa would say, or whatever, even other faiths, Hindi, what's the other one? In Japan?
Buddhist.
Buddhist, yes. I mean, the world's religion, there's there's thousands of them in world religion. And yet God sees the person and sees that they will come to know him through his, again, how can I say this, signature sign, healing. Okay. Here's another story. After a truck hit Jermaine Green's car on November 14, 2004, his recovery from a coma seemed swift, but he experienced paralysis on his left side. And although therapy helped some patients overcome this condition, it did not help Green. He did not expect recovery, but he decided that he would serve God no matter what. On Easter Sunday 2007, almost 3 years later, he was closing a church service in prayer. As he sensed that God was working and called on the congregation to praise God, he got out of his wheelchair and began walking up the aisle, only afterward realizing what had happened as he caught sight of his empty wheelchair. He remains active today in ministry. Wow. Sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it doesn't happen after a while. I mean, Isaac, how long was it before you actually started walking? From the day you got paralyzed?
About a month and a half.
A month and a half? That's still 45 days.
It seemed really long. To me,
It
it seemed
seemed
like it
very
was like
long.
6 months.
And
but
yet
it
for
wasn't
many
that
of you,
long.
you might say, wow, a month and a half, that's fast.
He wasn't, I don't think he actually started walking, but
I think
he
he
did
was-
start moving.
No, I was walking. I started moving a week after. 2
After
weeks
the
after.
After your
And then
paralysis.
Oh, yeah,
staying
yeah.
with assistance within a month
Right.
before we left for Shriners. So.
But you kept passing out though, standing
yeah,
with
yeah,
assistance.
yeah,
That was
so-
just, that would like for like 3
Well,
seconds.
your organs were
You'd
still
be down.
Yeah, everything
affected.
was atrophied, right?
Yeah.
And so, but then I kept strengthening. I was doing the physical therapy in the Shriners. and
Yeah.
Then I was at that point I was walking. Right? So
Yeah, I remember at
Grandpa
Shriners
Dan
you
came, and then I was walking with the
Right.
thing,
I
so-
think you were at Shriners maybe
A
almost
month.
2 weeks before you started walking, 3 weeks before you started walking.
Yeah, I was there for a month, so yeah, about 2 weeks. So yeah, a month and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Isaac. Okay, back on the spinal injuries. Okay, here's another account. On June 19, 2000, during a routine operation, a surgeon accidentally scraped carpenter Jimmy Craig's spinal cord. The accident changed Craig's life. A paraplegic, he could no longer walk. And this is from a doctor, a surgeon. Okay. 3 years later, his son Zach urged his father to visit a service at Zach's California church. To Craig's surprise, the guest preacher, Mark DuPont, was a colleague he had known from work 23 years earlier who had gone into the ministry. Because he knew DuPont and trusted his integrity, Craig welcomed prayer. Nothing happened immediately, and while he felt some disappointment as the service continued, he felt his legs growing stronger. Amazed, he stood and started to walk around the back of the sanctuary. Soon everyone realized what had happened. Several months later, in January 2004, Craig visited his neurosurgeon for an appointment, and when the doctor saw him standing, he was perplexed. He ran another MRI, which showed that Craig's spine remained too damaged for him to walk. While Craig remained in the office, the doctor showed colleagues the results. This patient, he says, this patient is a paraplegic who will never again regain any movement, they concluded. Then he introduced them to Craig, who clearly was able to walk without any disabilities. In some cases in this book, medical documentation attests healing. In this case, by contrast, it attests a continuing condition that conflicts with the other empirical evidence. Craig has full use of his limbs. And that ends the injured spinal cord section of Miracles Today. I just wanted to share that with you. Please be encouraged if you are ailing in some form or fashion, if you are hurting, and not just physically or health-wise, if you're hurting financially, if you're hurting relationally, if you're hurting in many areas, we have a God that can amend all of those hurts and bring satisfaction back to you. But again, like all things, Yeshua wants to make sure that you know that it's He that is doing the healing. He is doing all the recovery work. And by trusting and believing in Him, then the glory goes to the Father, because He points to the Father for all things. So I just wanted to share that with you. If again you are hurting, struggling, be encouraged. Okay, it's testimonies like this that give us hope, and our hope actually comes in the person who again did all the work, the person of Yeshua HaMashiach, and we thank Him for being our provider, our seer, our healer in all things.
Amen.
Amen.
I agree.
All right, so where are we as far as time? Oh,
Yeah, we're close.
well,
Does anyone have questions or anything you want to share with Noble? See, I told you it was going to be a good teaching. You did a good job.
everybody was patient to wait for our internet
Yeah.
to work. We're going to
Yeah.
try to work that out and just put full on Ethernet and make sure that thing is going.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
longer.
we may switch servers. That might be part of the problem.
Spectrum is dropping the ball on us big time.
Yeah.
Oh, was that something I shouldn't have said?
Well,
We need healing.
There is
in
a
our,
choice.
We need
We have-
healing in our internet.
we have two choices of internet here in Hawaii, and this one is probably not going to be going
Yeah.
for much longer at our house.
Yeah. So,
But anyway,
yeah.
thank you guys for submitting your prayer requests. We'll add those to the list. And thank you, moderators, especially. We appreciate you guys. Tammy, Sherry, Monkulas, Kaylee, Isaac was in there for a bit.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw anybody else in there.
Thank
but
you,
thank
Sherry,
you
for your
guys.
good comments. Thank you, everybody, for again just putting up with our struggles today and in the lesson. It's to be continued again. Sorry about that, but we will press on forward. This is a long teaching.
That's
Okay?
right.
So, shall we pray?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Isaac, you want to close this?
All right, here.
He was praying and falling asleep.
All right.
Now he will pray.
Thank you, Abba, for another amazing lesson. Thank you that the leaders of the tribe of Yehuda, right? Yehudites?
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and Joseph and
Followed you and stayed faithful to you and provided for your people. May you continue to bless us with all the teachings and the wisdom from our forefathers and our ancestors. And thank you for the blessing of Yeshua, that because of him, not only do we have the blessing of eternal life, but the blessings that come from being followers of you. We also are aware of the sacrifices we must make as well, not physical or to adhere to any sin, but just to have a life with you. We choose to give up the things that we must. Father, we honor and glorify you that you would send your Son for us and make sure that the line of whoever Yeshua was meant to come through made it its way all the way to him. So thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your will. And I pray that we continue to walk in it and humble ourselves before it.
yes.
Thank you again for these teachings. And thank you that you are the God that will bless who you bless and curse who you curse. And we glorify you that you are also the Yah Elohim that would stop the sun and moon. Above all else, Yeshua, we pray that his will be done. In the name of Abba, Ruach HaKodesh, and Yeshua HaMashiach, we say amen. Thank you.
Amen.
All right.
Thank you, son. Again, I
Thank
want
you,
to thank
Isaac.
Isaiah, because Isaiah was again my study partner. He actually told me about the book by David C. Mitchell, again, which is a source of my teaching today. I want to give credit to him because again, it's these scholars that put out all the work and time so they can bring revelation to us through the scriptures. So enjoy your week. Are we having class next week?
I don't think so.
I think it's Shabbat.
It
It's
is our
Shabbat?
Sabbath weekend.
It's our
Yes.
Shabbat.
So
So,
no class. Oh, they can't hear me.
so we'll have class in 2 weeks. Next week is Shabbat for us.
Yep.
And then
In September.
in September, wow, already. So we'll,
And in 2 weeks, I will be starting my new work schedule.
Ah, there we go.
oh, so keep that in prayer too. So that way we can see if we are able to have Isaac as our technician or not.
Actually, you will. So, in my new work schedule, I'll be working in the afternoons from, I believe, Monday to Thursday or Tuesday to Friday.
Oh, good.
Okay, great.
So I'll be available for the weekends for sure. So
Good.
Praise to Yah.
yeah, so I decided, you know what? I've been working mornings my entire year of my schedule, and my coworker swapped. She swapped. What is it? Schedules with me the
Yeah.
past 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm spoiled now. I like this. I like being able to wake up late and
Sleep in, yeah.
kind of sleep in, take my time. I don't, however, like the sweating. I sweat a lot right before I get to work, so I end up feeling really gross. But that eventually goes away within an hour because I'm in like a cold AC room. So, other than that, yeah, it works out great in my eyes at least. And then
It'd be
Kaylee
better for you health wise. Yeah.
yeah, better for my health wise. And then Kaylee feels like she's not like holding her breath waiting on me until I get back home from work. So I noticed that, and I was like, oh yeah, she's out doing all kinds of stuff. And I was like, I like that. I like busy Kaylee rather than the one that's just patiently waiting for me. As much as I love it and I adore it, it's just like, hey, it's better for everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I took that schedule. I had dibs. I was like, all right, I'll take it. So
Good.
Good.
Right on. Well, praise God. Praise God.
unfortunately, my coworker, who's also our friend, has to take the morning shift, and
That's
it's
the way it is.
unfortunate, but I paid my dues.
Yep.
Seniority.
Seniority.
Yeah.
Right on. Thank you, Isaac, for sharing.
So yeah.
Thank you, all of you, for sharing as well. Thank you again to all our moderators, like Lisa said, and to all the faithful that have followed us and kept with us. Thank you so much for being our brothers and sisters in Yeshua. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Shalom.
Aloha.
Aloha.